Welcome back to Toys on Tap. This week, another incredible week. Mike Dye Toys comes on and talks through his illustrious career in arts and how he ended up making one of the sickest toy lines that I've seen. You will have to go see it and go see his drops and see if you can get one because they sell out so frequently. He sells through so many figures at ZoloCon, so many figures online. I need to get some. If you want more Toys on Tap, you can like, follow, rate, review wherever you get podcasts. That is a free way for you to support the show, and it means the world to us. It is everything to this podcast that we can get out to more people, and that's how we do it. If you want to support the show even more, you can follow us on all socials, including YouTube at Toys on Tap. And if you want to even be a bigger Rockstar listener, come see us at the shows we're doing. We have a couple shows coming up that we're really excited for. Now let's get to this week's episode of Toys on Tap.
I've done an interview in like almost 15 years, so it's been pretty cool.
15 years.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's crazy. And you chose me to be that.
Yeah.
And you make figures that, I mean, I've only been in the toy game for 5 years, and it's been like super fun. I started out with resin and all that stuff. You make toys like I've never seen.
Thanks.
So they remind me so much of Battle Beast too.
Yeah. It's like a mix of Battle Beast and He-Man.
Dude, I just saw He-Man too. And so it just like revitalized some kind of love I've got for it.
Don't tell me about it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going Saturday.
Okay. I won't say anything. I'm excited you're on. Sometimes I just offer it up and people like they're a little hesitant. You were not hesitant at all, which I absolutely love. You jumped on, and I'm excited because you make one of the raddest indie toy lines. That it's so good, and I've seen them and they sell out like crazy. My only bummer in all of it is I didn't find you until way later in the game. And so please, like we start every episode, please introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do.
All right, cool. I'm Mike Dye. What do? I do a little bit of everything, but as of right now, I'm primarily working on the Rock Protectors, which is my own creation that I have come up with over the years. It combines my style and everything that I collect.
Dude, the Rock Protectors, it's such a rad thing. And we're gonna get there. We're for sure gonna get there because it looks like you've nailed every piece of it down to a science. How they hold weapons, how they functionally move, like all that stuff. But I want to hear about your childhood. We just talked like you're gonna go see He-Man. This kind of toy line embodies Battle Beast and He-Man. Tell me, like, walk me back to childhood, the toys you're playing with, the shows we're watching, all that stuff.
So I'm an 80s kid, so straight up, earliest I can remember is Saturday mornings, like every other 80s kid. I was definitely into the He-Man. I was one of the only kids that would be into She-Ra as well, so like I used to love the She-Ra characters. And then Transformers was big too for me. Every Christmas I would get loaded up with Transformer toys. So I mean, like that's what I used to play with. Yeah. So, but I always used to go towards the bad guys. So it was always never the heroic guys. It was always the evil bad guys. The Megatrons, the Soundwaves, the Starscream, the Trapjaw and Merman were by far my favorite toys growing up. I've had them forever. I remember being 18 and still having him on in my drawer. I'd pull it out and like, oh, look, it's my Trapjaw.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what, at an early age, like I should say early, like 11, 12, I was like, yo, I want to make toys when I grow up. That's it. I want to do toys. And I've had the same mindset since then to create something that I can play with in hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to like we all kind of have the same story, but it's so crazy to kind of pinpoint that there's like two toys that just carried it all the way for you and that you still had those.
Oh yeah.
Do you still have the ones from your childhood now?
I have the Trapjaw still. I have no idea what happened to my memory. I also have my Cobra Khan too from back in the day, which I fucking love. It still works.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, the thing that happens to all of us as we get older, we get rid of toys, we do all those things. What kind of like what years are we growing up? How I don't know how old you. I'm 35 in this, so
Ooh,
not
35.
yeah, not even that old.
Yeah, I am 47, 47. So I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
But like my earliest memory of anything would be one of my neighbors had GI Joe figures. And I'll never forget that moment, and that like kind of introduced me from like playing with Hot Wheels and like regular kids toys
Hmm.
into playing with like action figures. And it's like so predominant me remembering that he had the Cobra Commander figure, and it had to be like a Cobra officer. And I was like, whoa, what action figures? Like this is a whole new world to me. And then from then I just remember my mom doing Easter and Christmas, and it's just that's what it was. I mean, so Ninja Turtles I was at the prime of Ninja Turtles. I was like what 10 years old. So it's like
Hmm.
it was like hit the mainstream. So
Dang, lucky.
yeah, yeah, right. You think lucky until you realize how freaking old you are.
Yeah. What is the what's crazy? You bring it Ninja Turtles. I just saw it again today, so it's in the front of my brain. The giant turtles they made, the vinyl
Yes.
ones. So they never made a giant Splinter,
No.
but there is a knockoff from Mexico of a giant Splinter.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and I've only seen two of them. One was boxed, and I should have bought it, and I didn't. And the other
Sure.
one I saw was today, and it wasn't boxed, but it's $600. I can't do that.
No, not in this day and age.
No, like if I'm doing $600, I need to pick up three or four different pieces.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, so that is crazy. All right, like you're growing up in the core parts of the '90s and stuff. What's the thing that you kind of trade toys out for and bring in? It's usually
Oh,
one of the. It's like skateboarding, music, punk stuff, or girls. It's one of those four.
graffiti.
Graffiti, yeah.
100%. So, at 16, I
Mhm.
started hitting the streets of Staten Island doing graffiti. Right when I was like 18, I started going into Manhattan. So that was like real prime for me.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the first time I got arrested for graffiti. I'll never forget the last time I got arrested for graffiti. So it runs through my blood forever. I used to work in Manhattan when I was older in my 30s, and I would still do street art. Just it's graffiti, and it never leaves you. It's kind of like action figures. They're
Yeah.
always there.
Dude, tell me about those early days of graffiti. We're like New York has a rough patch for a little bit in the 80s and 90s. I
Yeah.
mean, it's still rough some places, but it was like real rough. And they were doing all these, like, it was whoever was in power was just not doing what they needed to do.
Oh yeah.
And so tell me about getting your hands on spray paint and making it happen through Manhattan.
Okay. So first off, back in the day, I was 16 going and buying spray paint like tester cans, like
Yeah.
So I mean, you didn't have to have a license. You had to be 18. So we would go in there and we would buy the spray paint cans,
Yeah.
and you just go hook tags. You're 16 years old, riding on the back of a building, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? You're getting a lot of ups. You get excited. Then you like your parents go into Manhattan or the city or Brooklyn, and you're like, whoa, look at all this big stuff. Everybody's getting these names out here. I want my name up there. So then you get a couple of good kids with you, and like get enough balls to cross the ferry into Manhattan, and then you just go crazy. But back then it was a lot different because like it wasn't strict. Like you can just do graffiti in the middle of the day, and it was just like it's graffiti in the middle of the day. So and then I remember David Dinkins. After him, that's a mayor of New York.
Hmm.
He started cracking down, and then was Bloomberg, and then it was all downhill from that. Then like if you like spit on the wall, you get arrested for graffiti. So
Yeah.
totally different.
Were there any, like, I mean, in graffiti early days, we're talking, there's some insane artists that are doing graffiti in
Yeah.
New York. Were you alongside any of them or
So
seeing them do it?
okay, so you might actually out by you now, Rhyme, MSK.
Uh-huh.
He's out there, and he lived literally down the block from me. I got a chance to hang out with a couple times. Nothing crazy, but I mean, there's a couple kids who are like legends that I would never think I would meet. Actually met and got to hang out with, and definitely was like probably like the highlights of my life as a graffiti artist.
Yeah. I mean, oh, dude, what was it like getting arrested then and then having to tell your parents, like, hey, so this is what happened?
Yeah, so I mean, you always deny, deny, deny. Oh, I
Yeah.
just denied. I had the spray paint. I don't know. Like it's just it's a different story. It's just like I never like, dude. I was like the worst probably teenager, and I feel bad for my mother. But like it is, you get arrested. You're like, all right, mom, what are you gonna do about it? And then that's it. And it's different than today. Like you catch you beating, like then you
Yeah.
don't beat kids anymore.
That's crazy. Okay, so you kind of you hit that probably for a larger spell.
Oh
What
yeah.
what pulled you out of that? Was it art in school? Were you getting into art that way, or are you still just dabbling wherever you can find it?
So no, what happened was is back in I think it's like maybe 2004 or 2005,
Hmm.
Kidrobot came out with Dunnies. Remember those little urban vinyl
Yeah.
things? Okay, so and he used to do all the graffiti artists. So a lot of the graffiti artists they were putting on those Dunnies were kids I knew and kids I looked up to, and I was like, you know what? If these guys are doing it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much brought me back into the game. So I leaned heavily into the urban vinyl for a long period of time, making my own figures, customizing and stuff like that. I used to do pop-up shows for Kidrobot in Manhattan before they closed. So that's pretty much what brought me back to toys. But graffiti always was like there for me.
Yeah. To be in on the first days of Kid Robot and early in 2004, lucky man.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that that stuff existed. I was 13 or 14. I had not a care in the world about that stuff.
No, hell no.
Yeah. And so it's crazy to see that it's those moments in early where people are lining up around the block to get into certain things, to get
Yes.
certain
Crazy.
figures. And that's insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you start doing that. What does that kind of start for you? Because they're doing probably like large, crazy graffiti artists they're bringing in to do these dunnies and stuff, and just to see that there's a possibility that you could one day do that. What's that
Yeah.
doing for you?
I mean, what's that doing for me? I had a good stint of popularity, probably like in 2010 and 2011, which was like
Yeah.
to me was an insane. Like you go from like I graduated from college,
Hmm.
and like it's very hard to sell art, especially just regular graffiti art and these
Yeah.
shows. And then all of a sudden, like I'm selling a dunny for like $150. At that time, $150 is like, damn,
Yeah.
I spend all this time doing these huge paintings and I can't get $25 for them, but I'm doing this little 3-inch figure and I'm making $150 for it. So I mean, it definitely blew my head up beyond proportions for a good like I would have to say like 4 to 5 years, and then it just like once Kidrobot closed in Manhattan, it went downhill for me. Like I dropped out of the scene. I had like a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, you know what, whatever. And I
What
just went.
year would that have been?
Oh, yeah, I met my wife in 2000. It had to be 2010.
Okay. I mean, 2004, 2010, solid run.
Yeah,
Also $150 for a 3-inch figure.
right.
I don't know that there's an artist now that I'm paying $150 to get a
No,
3-inch figure. That's insane, but I love it. Man, you got me looking around my cases now because that's crazy. That's wild. 2004 to 2010, they close, and you walk away. Which is like the things that we never want to hear from a toy artist.
yeah,
So you have a second time of being drawn back in. While you're gone, art seems to have like bloodied up your life. Like you love art and live for it. What are you doing for art instead of the figures then?
so back in like 2010, 2011, there was a huge um emergence of people casting resin. So resin was like the big thing. I mean, artists were left and right were pumping out action figures that were resin. So I got a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna veer off and do my own thing, and then went back to street art. So
Mhm.
spent a good good chunk of my time in Manhattan again, wheat pasting.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that was like my new thing. Doing posted labels. I don't know if you know Chris from RWK.
Yeah.
It's the homie for life right there. So working with him a couple doing T-shirts and art shows and stuff like that. So I was still dabbling in art, but not really catching any fame or any like popularity from it, I should say. And I was just pretty much at that time I was more focused on trying to make a career. I met my wife. We started getting serious and stuff like that. So I was
Yeah.
always there, but sometimes you got to take a back burner.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a funny progression to do like post-it stickers and stuff like that. Like now there's companies that make them like you can't get those stickers off.
Yeah.
They're just impossible to remove. That's cool. I like that. I like when people move to those types of things and they go. To get it back burner, that means burnout for you is probably on the verge if you're having to back burner the things that like give you life and stuff. So what got you back in? Did the wife like she was like, okay, finally, like you can go do art?
No, yeah, my wife has been very. I met my wife through art, and she was actually the DJ at one of my art shows, which is the craziest thing ever, and that's how we met.
Wild.
So, yeah, I know, wild, and she's been very pro Mike Dye since day one, which is great. And without her, I probably wouldn't do any art because it's just like whatever. But what brought me back is enamel pins. I don't know if you know the craze that happened with enamel pins.
Around like 2000s?
Oh man, no. This is 2015.
Tell me about this craze because I have not a clue.
Okay, so it started off in Cali, out in Cali.
Okay,
all this like enamel pins. All these artists were making like just generic enamel pins. They would man, I don't want to like give out people's names, but they would do like whatever was popular at the time. Like Star Wars was popular. They would come out with Star Wars characters, come out with enamel pins. They'd sell them. They were doing big shows. So what happens is I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try doing this with my graffiti style. Now, my graffiti style was different than anybody else's. I didn't use your typical letters. I drew spaceships and put my letters in my spaceship. So I was making enamel pins of my spaceships, which at the time was doing well.
Yeah.
But I could do better. And I sat there and said one day, like, yo, let me bring something that I love back into this. And my very first pin that I did after that was a trap jaw figure. Like I drew a trap jaw, made an enamel pin out of it. Oh, do I even have it? No, I don't. And then that's where it started from. It blew up. I sold out of it. I'm like, wow, what? So then I made a Boba Fett one, and then I went to like Ninja Turtle ones, and then they would like completely sell out. So I was like, you know what? This is crazy. And then that's when I started Mike Dye pins. So for a long time, Mike Dye pins. Oh man, I just recently stopped doing them. So dude, I had to run that for like almost 8 years.
I mean, okay, we got to break this down. So I've never been a collector of enamel pins. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, is that one of them?
Yeah, this is a Black Manta one. So I just do it in my like, and then what happens is it sticks in the same exact form of collecting. So now I'm doing all the Motu characters, and at the time nobody was doing Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
So if I'm making all the Masters of the Universe characters, and people are like, yo, if I got He-Man, I got Skeletor, I need Merman, and then I need Ram Man. So then you just put them on, and I think I only have So I have like two of the same, and then you want to do variants.
Yeah, and they're in your style, which is dope.
Exactly.
So here is the thing, right? Like only recently have I seen a book that like holds all the pins. It has like all the holes in the pages, and you can like, but it's the same thing with sticker. Like it feels that to me because I don't know what to do with them. I have so many, and you had collectors that were just buying out.
It was crazy.
Was it lucrative back then?
So it was extremely lucrative. So this was like right before COVID, during COVID, right? Buying 100 pins, I'd have to sell 15 of them to make my money back.
Wild. That's
wild.
So much profit.
And I'm selling 75 of them. So if I'm 70, and I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, it was bank. But then what happened is unfortunately they put tariffs. They this is back. It wasn't called tariffs. It was called taxes, and then they did shipping taxes, and then FedEx raised their prices, doubled. So the same thing that would cost me like $200 to get 100 pins is now costing me close to 550, and I have to sell 35 pins just to make my profit back.
Mm-hmm.
And as we all know, right after COVID, nobody was spending. So it was really hard to make the money back for the pins. So as lucrative as my business was, COVID kind of killed it. I still continued with it a couple of years afterwards, making some money, but it got to a point where it's like, now I'm just breaking even, and I mean, that's it. I have to move on to my next venture.
Yeah, which is that's so crazy. So you did Boba Fett, all the Motu characters. What out of all those, remember back, go through all the characters, what was like top?
What was top?
That like you had to just keep reordering because people wanted it.
Oh man. Okay, so believe it or not, my old school Boba Fett pin, and I did a Jason pin. I'd have to say I reordered both of those pins at least 4 to 5 different times. And believe it or not, the third one would be Usagi Yojimbo from Ninja Turtles, which is the craziest thing because you're like, Usagi Yojimbo, why would he sell more than like the Ninja Turtles themselves?
Right.
Even with Casey Jones. But like that pin, for some reason, I don't get it, but
it's like the side characters that do so well for some reason.
So crazy.
Wild. Okay, you do that, and then you eventually stop doing that, and what's the, like, we still haven't gotten back into toys yet.
Yeah, right?
Which is crazy. Like, you're just success story after success story with art. Like, you're a green thumb with art.
Yeah. So then, like, I mean, that's exactly, and then I went back into the posted labels again. So then I would just bang out posted labels. I'm trading with other artists that do posted labels.
Yeah.
And then, I think maybe 2024, I was showing interest in buying a 3D printer, mostly to make repo weapons. So this, as crazy as that sounds, is like, instead of going out and spending like, at the time, $20 on a He-Man axe, I'd go just print it because it's my collection. Like I want to have it.
Yeah.
And then my wife bought me one for Christmas, and that literally, like, okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but I was like, I'm printing out all these files I'm finding everywhere. And I'm like, this is crazy. Then my wife is like, why aren't you just making your own stuff? And I'm like, fuck, why am I not making my own stuff? Why am I printing all the stuff when I can just be making my own stuff?
Yeah.
And then that's what happened. And then there you go.
Your wife sucked you right back into art.
Yeah, sucked me right back in.
That's crazy. You know what's funny? You said $20, like you didn't want to spend $20 for an axe. Now, I don't think you're touching it for $20.
No.
Yeah. So, like, isn't that crazy? The prices that we were like, I'll never pay that. And now, if we would have paid it then, you could sell it now for 60, 70.
Exactly, yeah.
It's wild.
What's even wilder is, I want to get to this real fast, is I went actually to Target the other day,
yeah,
and I was with my son, and we're looking at action figures. I'm like, bro, is this figure really $30? I'm like, $30 for what? I'm like, what are we paying $30 for? And of course, you pay it because it's something he wants. Be like, yo, like a couple of years ago, I would tell my son he's out of his mind, out of your birth, for $30.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is, so growing up in the 90s, there was a brand called Snailians. Did you ever have Snailians?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I love Snailians. I don't know what it is, but that figure, there's Keshi, there's painting, there is like plastic. So like so much went into that. Those figures only sold for $2.99.
Crazy, right?
How is that even possible?
No, I don't even know, dude. It's crazy.
It's so wild to me that is even like, I don't know how that happened. So that's crazy. So yeah, you start doing that. Let's pause right here. You guys showed out this week. When you showed up for the Yerman Kickstarter, we thought we would hit our goal and a little more. You guys blew past that, so we dropped our first stretch goal. You guys blew past that, so we dropped our next stretch goal. We are so excited that you love the Yearman Project just as much as we do, and we couldn't be more excited to see this thing come to life. The molds are done, test pulls are done, so once this stops, we will start pulling these figures. We are so excited about what's coming from Yearman, and we do not want you to miss out. So you can go on Kickstarter, follow, pledge, all the good stuff, and these things will ship out by November. So go support the Kickstarter. Thank you for all those that did support, and let's do more. Now let's get back to the show. But there's a learning curve always with everything. So how long does it take you before you're like, okay, I know how to make my stuff? Because then you got to learn how to sculpt.
So I was sculpting at the time.
Mhm.
I just have everything laying around because my room's a disaster. Rock protectors. So I had come up with the idea that, like, growing up, my son was intrigued by rocks. We were always intrigued by rocks. And I'm like, you know what? I'd wash all my kids' clothes, and I'd always be pulling rocks out of their pockets.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make an action figure out of rocks.
Yeah.
One day I was drawing it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to come up with it. So I started sculpting them, and then I was casting them out of resin. So then I was like, how could I make this into the program? And I was learning all these programs. I'm watching all these YouTube things. And then I happened to stumble across something that was saying, if you they make 3D scanners for your phone. And all you got to do is scan their sculpt that's already there. So I'm like, yeah, let me try it. Like, it can't be that easy. And try it. And obviously everything else is a learning curve. But honestly, after like 2 months, I got down back. So now check it out real fast. I always use this. This is the character, right?
Yeah.
This is the same as that character I 3D printed. You can't even like tell the difference.
So
Other than like the paint.
What's the first one sculpted out of? Just regular clay?
It's sculpted out of Sculpty.
Yeah.
Then I cast it in like regular silicone, poured it with resin. So this is actually the resin copy of wherever it is I sculpted it.
Yeah, it is pretty wild that those are so similar just from a scan.
And then like you work with the scan. Then there's other programs that are just like dummy proof, dude. Like the Bamboo Studio comes with a bamboo slicer. When you look at it, you have no idea how to use it. But then, like, literally, there's a barcode on everything. You scan the barcode. There's a YouTube video that pops up that shows you how to do it. It's like dummy proof.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a big YouTube guy. Even when I'm working on my house, if I don't know how to do something, I'm gonna watch a YouTube tutorial on it, and I'm gonna get it done by myself. So, just after numerous amounts of videos, and then and then I should have to say too is I had 2 friends who were 3D printing already. And it kind of took me under their wings, and showed me how to do like the plug and play, like you would do a joint. They showed me how to hollow out things, how to make it print faster. They showed me how to like melt the plastic to get it smooth, because when you 3D print with ABS, it leaves like those little layer lines.
Yeah.
But now if you vapor, like you do what they call a vapor bath to it, it smooths it out, and like the lines virtually disappear. So, I mean, it's a great, it's like dude, I don't know how to say it. It's a huge learning curve, but I had a lot of people giving me good tips to get it done.
Yeah. I mean, because you're entering into a whole nother art field, going from like doing what you were doing at Dunnies and stuff.
Yeah.
So the rock protectors, which is such a funny like play on like the stone protectors that existed and the rock lords, all those.
Exactly. Oh, somebody got it.
Dude, it's so good. And so you do that. Take me, like, that begins the toy journey, the toy making stuff.
So I'm making good 25 solid rock protectors, which are all rocks. They all have backstories. I wrote every one of their backstories out. I'm drawing comic books for them, but they're not getting the momentum that I like. So my wife is chirping about, you know what, you should make a cat character, because I'm like infatuated with cats.
Yeah.
So you should make a cat character. You should make a cat character. I'm like, you know what, babe, I'm that goes away from what I want. She's like, well, maybe you should introduce the cat character to the Rock Protectors. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So, because like, wait, He-Man ventures off and finds, like Ram Man and Roboto and all these other guys. So I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? It's great. So that's why I came up with the character Cheeks, which is actually named after one of my cats. Then I came up with the Beetle character because I love insects, like all the insect characters. So, and then that's when it started getting deeper into like the lore. So then it went from just rock characters to then like cat characters, and the storyline gets bigger. So if it wasn't, again, for my wife, again pushing me to do things that I always hesitant on doing, I'd still be making rocks.
Yeah. So that character, or the cat character that you brought in, was that the first time that you kind of mashed in the Motu and the Battle Beast look?
So yes. So what happened is I came up with the Cheeks character, which was kind of like he didn't have a helmet on, so it was
Yeah.
just a regular cat with a big bulky body. And then I put him out. It did well, and people enjoyed him. But then I was watching Deadpool.
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, the fucking Juggernaut helmet. I bet you that would look dope on this big ass cat. Then I put it on the cat. And then I don't know if you know who ECT Toys, Tim. He
Yeah,
does a
yeah.
lot of resin. Okay. So he hits me up because we're really cool. And he's like, did you ever think about doing a Battle Cat version of that? I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
I've
I
seen that
never
battle kit.
thought about
So
doing a
good.
Battle Cat. So, and then, and that's what I needed to pick up steam. So I introduced that character, and then I had a build up because I do a show, Zola World, every year, uh, which is like, which would be my New York Comic Con. I
Hmm.
do it once a year. I enjoy everybody that does it. It's the guy Michael runs. It's amazing, and it's the only show I'm doing now. So I'm doing this show. And I'm like, I'm going to lead up this character. So from November to literally February, I'm just pushing this character, saying, if you want this character, it's coming out in February. It's
Hmm.
coming out in February, and it's the first time I really advertised and before I put anything out. So then Zolo comes, I'm not expecting it to do anything, and I literally sell out of the character within like 2 hours of the show being open, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I never had it was beyond my beliefs. I think I made 35 of them, and I sold out the 35 within like I said, like the first 2 hours, and I couldn't
Dude,
believe. Yeah.
what do you do the rest of the show? Like, it sucks.
Oh, I mean, no, I had tons of characters.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I was very lucky because and I'm telling you right now, I do Zolo every year, even when I was doing the pins, and I always bring and make more than I think I'm gonna do. And I said, you know what? I made like a good 200 figures. I'm gonna bring 200 figures. If I sell 25, I'll be happy. And I ended up selling every one of them except like I think I came home with like 4 or 5 rock guys. I was even selling rock guys. It was crazy. I was like, and then that's when it like when I saw Pixel Dan there. Pixel Dan was so excited to at the Battle Cat figure. He came up to the booth talking about it, bought one, and then that was it. I was like, it was all over after that. So
That's insane. So
yeah.
I'm glad that you brought up the tabling and stuff. Let's backtrack a little bit. You were going to ZoloCon for how many years?
Oh, um, dude, years. I'd have to say a good 6 years. 6 years.
Okay.
So, but I was at that time. I was mostly focusing on all my old pin stock. So I
Yeah.
still had a majority of pin stock, and ZoloCon is mostly like a 5.5 show. So like they're like a company, Realm of the Underworld. They do 5.5 figures. So what I would do is I would bring all my He-Man pins. I'd make an exclusive pin for them, a T-shirt, a Zolo World T-shirt that they
Mm.
would rock, and then I would get my money and my popularity. Well, not my popularity, but my money back for the table, selling old pin stock and like show exclusives.
Unreal. Unreal. That's so
Yeah.
sick. Also, I love that's such a good business model. like if you make something and there's a convention that does that, go there. Like don't
Yeah, exactly.
why wouldn't you go there? Like we make a lucky kaiju claw that's modeled after the Shogun Godzilla fist that launches.
Yeah.
And there's a Godzilla Fest in San Francisco. Why wouldn't I be a part of it?
Yeah, no, exactly.
And so, yeah, I'm pumped. It'll be the first time that our table just has all the different fists on it. That's it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's
Um,
sick.
so I'm pumped. Yeah, so you get into there, you show up with all these characters because and kind of walk me through all these characters that have been designed. So I get glimpses here and there, but then the characters sell out
Yeah.
so it's like it's almost like you just hear the whisper in the wind that this figure exists. There's like a chameleon one, a crab one, they're like all kinds of characters.
So I'm actually I do my daytime job actually has nothing to do with art, believe it or not.
Oh, shocker.
I'm a teacher.
Oh, cool.
So a lot of, well, including growing up and everything, I've always been happy in that I have what I have, and I always reflect on people that don't have like things like you normally have, like disabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's where the Rock Protectors originally came from. I mean, it's the hero, right, who has one eye and one arm, and he's what? In my world, he's 3 feet tall,
Mhm.
and he's the hero of the world. He doesn't need to be 6 foot, jacked guy with 2 arms. So that's where it pretty much comes from. And then every like the new character I'm doing, the turtle. All right, he's a nomad. He has no place to live. So it's kind of like he goes from place to place, and that's when I come up with the idea. So now I've got an idea. I've got a nomad turtle. What can I incorporate then? Let's story wise. So he loses his family. So then I'm like, oh, he loses his family. He's by himself. He's going from home to home, and then that's make the character of him. Then you introduce him into the world, and this is what I've done from day one. And I'm just lucky enough that people are digging it. I'm so glad that I'm finally hitting my another plateau of creativity, and people are enjoying it again.
Dude, I love that. So you're creating and then you're just is it that you just look around and whatever animal there is, you're like, let's just throw that in armor and make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. And
Okay.
it's more like a barbarian thing. It's armor, but it's all I try to keep it barbarianish. So it's kind of like in the same exact world as like your Conan,
Mhm.
right? So when I originally made the characters, I have nothing around me, but I have so many toys. Okay, so they're comparable of being like a buddy guy. So you know how Lionel had Snarf, right? So
Mhm.
now He-Man has a little buddy character, and that's what I originally came up with. So now, like, I just try to like look into like I love cats, so I made cats. I love beetles, so I made beetles, and that's pretty much what I'm going from. Now, the turtle one I just made is obviously inspired from my love of Ninja Turtles. So I made a rabbit one because I love I did love the Usagi Yojimbo, which was a really awesome for me at the time, and
Mhm.
everybody digged it. So that's what I mean. That's pretty. I mean, I take from what I love and what's around me, and I try to introduce it into my world.
God, you're nailing it. Jeez.
Thanks.
Um, tell me about these figures as far as making them. Are we resin 3D printing? Are we resin casting?
Oh,
Because you're having to produce so many that just sell.
so I have a one 3D printer that ABS printer.
Okay.
So it's regular plastics. I take each file takes a good like 7 to 9 hours to print. So my 3D printer is I have it turned off right now, but it literally prints all day long. I've got piles of pieces that I put together. I just finished this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then I hand paint each one of them. So like it's honestly it's like a 10-hour process for every figure that gets purchased. And what happens is I've been releasing 2 figures a month, new figures a month, plus one old figure that like an older figure. And what happens is like doing the new turtle guys. So I'm printing like a good 12 of them now,
Hmm.
painting them. Then I'll drop them next week. So I already have 12 in the bag, and I'll just continue to make them until the next one comes out. So it's just, yeah, I mean, it's my wife. I literally just hustle art all day long when I'm not working. Come home, painting, printing, creating new characters.
That is, are they? I mean, I have to. Are the figures sturdy? I like
Oh,
because 3D printing generally it comes out brittle, and we get nervous about that. Are these pretty sturdy?
yeah, yeah. I mean, these are sturdy as hell.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you can hear that. But
Oh yeah.
no, there's a trick to it. I mean, like obviously you go on and you learn the different tricks. Is like usually like, when you're printing a normal 3D printer, it's one layer on the outside
Hmm.
with infill. So I'm doing like 6 layers on the outside plus infill. So it's a much thicker than if you drop it. Not only that, but it's also thicker. So when I'm melting it with the ABS, if you vapor bath it, which is pretty much like if you hang the piece of plastic over boiling acetone,
Hmm.
it smooths out the plastic. So now that it's smoothing out the plastic, it's also now 6 layers instead of the one layer, which makes it thicker and harder as well. So it's just an
Dude,
interesting process. It's just really cool. Dude, I've actually had this rock protector in my pocket for like the last, I can't, at least 3 years. It's always in my pocket. Ask the people I work with. I literally
that's
pull it out
so
all the
crazy.
time.
With all of them that you've created, I do have to ask: do you at least save one for yourself?
So I was, no,
Bummer.
as crazy as that sounds, I know. I was for a long period of time. Like there's a cheeks. I obviously say it for myself because that was like the figure that took off of me. But what happens is I was people would hit me up like, "Yo, I need that figure. I need that figure." I'm like, you know what? I have the file here. Go ahead, take it. Because if I needed it for myself, I'll print another one.
Hmm.
So
That I, dude, that means. But the day that comes when you're like, I want to retire from this, I want to make my own collection. That day is going to be such a bad day of painting and printing.
yeah, I mean, like like I said, for the most part, I do sell all of them. There are a couple that mean a lot to me, like the cheeks one. I kept my very first prototype that I made of the cheeks. Um, but even like all the first prints, you'll see on Instagram. I run like either auction or hurry up and get it now. Of just get that's it. It's I have so much crap.
Yeah.
If you want, if you want it, it's flattering to me that somebody would want to buy a figure that I test printed before I actually printed the real thing. So it's like it's so like it's mind boggling. But hey,
Yeah.
man, I love it.
Tell me about I mean, you say you only go to ZoloCon. Where is ZoloCon? And I mean, it's only once a year, so you're
Yeah,
building all year for this one fest or like event.
yeah. So I mean, it used to be in God Allentown, but it's now in it's still in PA, out in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the town, King of Prussia, I think it's called. Anyway, but it attracts everybody from all over the place.
Hmm.
It's kind of like East Coast version of
Designer Con or something.
DesignerCon, exactly. So it's a lot
Cool.
of like who's there? I know you heard of Valaverse. Valaverse is there. There's like other big name companies that I can't think off the top of my head for some reason, but it's a lot of indie toy makers, which is great. I don't know if you know Musloids.
Yeah, yeah.
Frank, yeah, that's my boy too. So I do the show with him. So it's great to get out there and and the best part about it is I've been doing it so long and I've known these guys for so long that it's kind of like a retreat for me. Like I go there, I hang out with these guys, we have a good time, and I sell some shit. So
Yeah. I have you thought about adding one more show to your or is it not happening?
no, I've actually really thought about it hard. But the thing is like I need the right show because like I mean I can't roll up into so I used to do New York Comic Con when I was doing the pins,
Yeah.
and it got that got so expensive that it's just like I can't make a profit. So I got to find another show where I can find a profit. So they have a Legion Con, Mythic Legions.
Hmm.
they do a convention out in Jersey that I was thinking about doing. I'm not. I jumped on it too late this year, but if I'm still doing this next year, I'm probably gonna end up doing and add the 2 shows to my repertoire.
Dang. Okay, you have made so many characters, and you're gonna keep going. Do you see an end to the Rock Protectors?
So I was thinking about it, and no, because
Okay.
now I said, you know what, I'm gonna backtrack and Snake Eyes had 3 versions, right? 4 versions.
Right.
Now I'm like, why can't Lord Bossa wear armor? You know, like exactly. So I started actually. There's some rock protectors now that I've been revisiting and just adding armor to them. And I was trying a catapult technique, almost like an old school, like a flip feature, like it would launch a rock.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's time to take it to the next level, reintroduce the characters, maybe give them different armor, but I don't want to expand it so far that it loses all the older characters. So it's mostly like I want to stick to like 20 characters that I have, reintroduce them, switch them up. Like I just came up with the hex scale. So now instead of hex scale, the chameleon character that I was doing, and then I recolored him into there's a chameleon battle beast. So now there's another hex scale out there and a different variant. So
Insanity.
yeah.
Insanity. That is so crazy. So, I mean, looking over your whole career and all the things that you've done from graffiti and the dunnies and the pins and now this, what's next?
Oof, what's next? That's such a good question. Um, you know what I really want to do is I really want to get into the aspects of not comic books but books.
Okay.
So I'm not a writer by any means. I have literally the worst Staten Island accent and you'll ever hear in your life. And unfortunately, when I write emails at work, it comes out so fully because I don't like it. So like I have to continuously tell myself to speak proper and pronunciate my words. So but that's what I want to do. I have such a huge storyline. I literally have black books written down and jotted notes. I just want to get them all together. I want to get them into a book. I do want to create like a graphic novel. And that's my next venture. So I think that's probably what I'm. Last year I said that I was gonna do by 2026. I would make my book. It didn't happen. So by 2027, I'm hoping to have my first, at least graphic novel. So,
Dang. Dude, you are crushing it with all that stuff. Um, I, I don't even like. I hope that you get out to a West Coast show so that we can see you.
dude, I used to do San Diego Comic Con. I gotta go back there. Yo, I love San Diego, by the way. So I mean, I gotta make my way out there somehow. I have relatives out there now too. I should probably go visit them and do some shows.
Visit them around Comic Con time and just say like, "Oh, I
Yeah, hell
guess
yeah.
I'm busy."
Oh, you know.
Dang. Okay, the last part of the podcast is where you get to plug all the stuff that like you've
Ooh.
got coming up. If there's new figures, if the Zolocon's coming up, like all that stuff. So please, please plug away.
Okay, I'm gonna plug away. I am on everything. I am on Facebook. I'm on Threads. I'm on TikTok. I'm on whatever else, whatever app there is, I'm on. But I primarily am on Instagram. So go follow my Instagram page. It's Mike Dye at Instagram. Um, every other week I do a drop, a limited drop. And then once a month, I do a release of 2 characters and an older character. So that's where everybody gets the news first. I'm always on Instagram. Like Facebook to me is like a third thought. I'd
Hmm.
rather check my work emails than Facebook. I would like to plug all the people that have stuck with me forever. Muskloid, if you don't know who that is, check him out. Doomkick, Zola World, Realm of the Underworld. These are all people that have given me the opportunity to stay where I am. Chris RWK, he introduced me to all the labeling stuff. He's amazing. Skull Design, he's a guy who used to help me with all my T-shirts being printed. These are the people, and I listen. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the friends that always helped me, and that's how it is. And this gentleman right here, Marlon, dude, he's an OG from like the days of waiting on lines at Kidrobot for Kidrobot to drop Duddies. That's a day one homie. I'm so happy for him because he was always pushing me to do what I had to do. And that's what I want to plug. So yes, check me on Instagram. I've always got stuff, but I have to say thank you to everybody who always is there to represent for me.
Mike, thank you so much,
Of course, dude. Thank
for
you.
coming on Toys on Tap.
Hell yeah. Thank you for having me, dude. 15 years, I was telling you. I can't believe I haven't done an interview, and I'm so happy you guys invited me on.